Okay, cool. All right. So guys, let's start the session. I know many participants are still joining, but we have very short amount of time, so I can't wait any further. So today you guys are here. Hold on a sec. Are you, can you guys see something being scribbled on the screen? Yeah, you can see, right? Okay, cool. So today you are here to talk more about Git branches, right? We are going to understand what are branches, right? And how do we manage them? And then we will also take a look at, merge versus rebase. And if time permits, we will also see some hands-on. But I cannot guarantee on hands-on because, we have a lot of theoretical parts to cover. And before I start, let's start with my introduction. My name is Amit. I am 18 years of experienced DevOps practitioner. I currently work as a DevOps architect in my current organization. And teaching is my passion. So, I generally just take some classes, mostly around DevOps technologies. So I've worked on the entire breadth of, the DevOps landscape, starting from version control to cloud and everything in between. Yeah, so CI/CD, Jenkins, Maven, Docker, Kubernetes, AWS, Azure, Terraform, everything I have done. So yeah, so that's me. Yeah, and we have a 1 hour session today. So we are going to spend around 45 minutes in the discussion, and then I will take around 5 minutes for another thing that I want to talk about, and then we will have 10 minutes of Q&A. Okay, if you have any questions, please hold them off right now. Please keep a note of those questions. And when I open the floor for questions, please ask the questions in the Q&A section. Okay. The chat section is, pretty, there's a lot of traffic there, so I may not be able to identify or differentiate questions from normal chat messages. So, yeah, please use Q&A. All right. Okay, let's quickly jump into the discussion. When we say branch in Git, what do we mean? Right? So generally, when you start developing your code, right, you use some sort of version control system. Now, I'm not going to get into what is version control system and why do we use it. You guys may already be aware about it, but if not, then we can have session some other time. But what generally you do is, if you are working in a version control system, you make changes linearly, right? So for example, if there are, let's say 3 developers, let's say there is a developer called Alice, there is another developer called Bob, and another developer called Charlie. Yeah, let's say there are 3 developers in your team and they are all working on, code base, right? So let's say this is your project code base and it has a lot of files. Whenever somebody makes a change to the code base, it creates a new version of the code base with the changes. So for example, let's say this was the version 0 and Alice made some change, maybe 1 file or 2 file or 10 files, whatever, to this code base, then a new version 1 will be created, which will have everything from 0 plus Alice's changes, right? So 0 plus delta. And then maybe Bob comes and makes another change. So it creates a second version of your project, which is 1 plus delta. right? Delta being the change that is coming in, right? So you can see the project grows linearly, right? If you look at this sequence of events from a much further distance, you will see that these are the changes that are being made like this in a sequence, in a single time sequence, right? Now each change in Git is called a commit. So these are all commits. So let's call them commit 0, commit 1, commit 2. So C0, C1, C2, C3, C4. Yeah. And this sequence of changes is called as a branch. This is a branch. All right. A branch is nothing but a sequence of commit. Now, this is an ideal situation which actually never happens in a real organization, that all your changes are being made sequentially, right? Let's say you make let's say you develop an application, right? A mobile application. Now, major logic of your application would be same, but there could be some differences if your application goes into Android Play Store or Apple App Store, right? So that means there is a fragmented development, right? So instead of making changes like this, you may end up making changes which are exclusive to other changes, right? For example, maybe I'll take another example. Let's say you are developing a web application, yeah, and then there is all right, let's take another example. Let's say this branch contains your web application, right? And your web application has been maturing with these commits. And this code base goes and deploys on production, right? So this code base is actually deployed on production. Is my screen working for anyone? Are you guys able to see the screen? Okay, cool. Thank you. Now, if Charlie wants to make a change or fix a bug, what happens if Charlie makes a change here, makes a new commit called C7? Then this will impact the production web application. So generally, you don't make changes on the production branch, right? So what you can do is you can start doing your development on a separate branch, or make your commits which are not visible in this branch, right? Maybe you create a new branch like this. Charlie creates a new branch like this, calls it as bug fix, right? And creates all the commits here. So let's call it as B0, B1, B2. B is for bug fix. And makes all the changes here. And he's trying to fix a bug, which does not impact production. Once the bug is fixed, Charlie can bring all his changes to the production branch. Give me a second. So Charlie can bring his changes to the production branch, right? Once his work is done. So till the time the work is matured and is not fit to go to production, the Charlie can make his changes in a separate branch. So you can see here, these commits are not part of the main branch. These commits are not part of the main branch. This is just part of the bug fix branch. right? And that's what branches are. You want to make code changes which are isolated from other branches, right? Now, how do you manage the branches? How do you work with the branches? Let's try to create a branch. So I'm going to open GitHub. Just give me a second. I'm going to log in. All right. And let's see what repositories I have. Yeah. So for example, let's say there is this Git repository that I have, which has a lot of commits already. Okay. Let me clone this repository. Guys, is anyone facing problems with my voice? Is it breaking? Okay, cool. Thank you for confirming. All right. So and hopefully you can see my screen. I'm going to zoom in and let me clone this repository. Okay. And you can see here that there are some files. So I'm on Windows. I could do the same thing on Linux. So it does not matter which operating system I'm using, the commands remain the same. Okay, you can see all these files are part of this repository. But if I say git branch, it shows me that these files or these changes are part of the main branch. If I do a git log, it shows me all the commits that are part of the main branch. Okay, so this is the commit, then before that, this was the commit, before that, this was the commit, and these were the commits being made in this repository. Now, let's say I'm Charlie, right? And I want to fix a bug, but I don't want to make changes in the main branch. So what I can do is I say git branch bug fix. Okay. And if I say git branch, I will see that there is a new branch created called bug fix. So with the git branch command, I created a branch, and because I gave the name of the branch, it created the branch. Otherwise, with the plain git branch command, it lists down all the branches, right? I'll zoom in a bit again for easy visibility. Yeah. Now there are two branches, bug fix and main, and you can see main is a current branch, and the star also shows that it is a current branch. Now I change my branch to bug fix branch. I say git checkout bug fix. Checkout is a command to change your work area. And I change my work area to reflect the bug fix. Now, since I created the bug fix branch while I was in the main branch, so both will have same history of commits. So if I do a git log, you will see that in the bug fix branch, there are the same commits. Okay. Now, let's create a new commit. Let's say I am working on a bug fix and it requires changes in a.java file. So I'll open a.java file, which is here. And looks like this line is a problem, that this changes by Amit. So I'm going to delete this line. This was my bug fix. Okay, maybe I delete or I change it to something else. I'll say this is the fix. Yeah. Okay, So I changed my files. If I do a git status, it says that I have modified a.java, and it also tells me that I'm on the branch bug fix. Let's commit this change. Git commit am bug fix. So I made a commit. Now, if I do a git log, I see that the bug fix branch is, it has this commit. It used to have up to this commit, but there is a new commit made here, right? And if I now check out the main branch, right? If I say git log, it does not have the bug fix commit, right? Even if I print the a.java file, you see, it does not have my bug fix because this change is exclusive to the bug fix branch. It makes sense, right? I can also say git log one line, yeah, and I can also say the and all. Yeah. So here you can also see some graphical history of the branches. Okay, so you can see historically what has happened in this repository, right? So this is a history of the repository coming down. So I can start from the beginning. This was the first commit, and then some commits were made, but then a new branch was created here. You see, new branches were, so this commit was made in the main branch, this commit was made in a different branch. Then the branch got merged here, then some more commits were created. So this is the graphical history of all the changes. Okay, and you can see here, latest one, you have a main branch, and then on top of that, the bug fix branch has a new bug fix. Right? I am right now in the main branch. Right? Let's make some change in the main branch. Let's say I open, what are the files here? Let's say I'm making a production change in the main branch in file 1. Yeah, this is something here, and I say production change. Because this, I'm making change in the main branch, this will go in the production. Okay, so I say git status and git commit production change. So I made a commit here. If I do a git log on the main branch, you will see there is a production change. There is no bug fix, but only production change. Right? I can have a concise log as well. If I say git log one line, it will give me only one line for each commit, just the commit message and the commit ID. Right? And if I say graph, then it shows me all the branches. Right? Sorry, graph with all. So now it shows me all the branches here. So now you can see that this was the commit which existed till 5 minutes back. And then in the bug fix branch, there is a commit called bug fix. And after that, in the main branch, there's a commit called production change. You see the branches have diverged. Right? This is how branches work. And you cannot see one branch's change in another branch. They are mutually exclusive changes. Make sense? When we say branches diverged, branches are always diverged. Okay. All right. Now, what do we do with these branches? So, for example, if I create a bug fix branch and create many commits to fix a bug, later I want to see those bugs in production. That means it's a waste of my effort if I don't get my bug fix code changes into the main branch. Right? So I need to get my changes into the main branch. So how do we do that? Now for that, we need to learn something called as a merge. So Charlie needs to merge their branch to the main branch. This arrow is nothing but a merge. Okay. So let's do that. How do we do it? Just give me 1 second. All right. So now if I say git status, I am on the branch main, right? And I have created another branch called bug fix, which has my bug fix change. I want to bring the bug fix changes to the main branch. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say git merge bug fix. So while I am on the main branch, yeah, I say git merge bug fix, merge the bug fix branch on to my current branch. Okay. And when I press enter, it does something. It says merge made by recursive strategy. My a.java file is modified. Now, if I look at my, sorry, if I say git branch, I am in the main branch again. But if I print a.java, you see the bug fix is here. And if I do a git log, you see there was a bug fix here, and that bug fix got merged. You see this green line. Maybe I zoom in a bit. So there was this bug fix, and that bug fix got merged into my main branch. So now whatever was in the bug fix branch is now present in the main branch. Yeah. And Charlie's job is done. Now they can push this main branch to this remote repository. So this is the repository on GitHub. If you go to the main branch here, and if you go to the commit history or the logs, you will still not see all those changes. Right? So you need to push the changes from the clone repository to my remote repository. Okay. All right. Now, what happens to the bug fix branch? The bug fix branch has served its purpose. It was a separate branch to just store my code changes for the bug fix. And now the bug fix is done. So we can do whatever with this branch. We can even delete it. Right? So I say git branch -d bug fix. Now this is an irreversible step. You cannot undelete a branch. So now it says deleted branch bug fix. If I do a git branch, you see only main branch exists here. Right? If you do a log, there is no reference to the bug fix branch. You can only see that, hey, there was a branch created which has the commit called bug fix, and then it is merged here. But nobody worries about these older branches which got merged and deleted because the code is in the main branch. Okay. All right. Now let me, so this was merge. Okay, this was merge. Merge is a simple step of getting code from one branch and merging it with some other branch. In this case, it was the main branch. Now let's take a look at another scenario. Right? So I'm going to make some more space here. And let's get the developers back. So let's say this is Alice and Bob and Charlie. Right? Then let's say this is the same sequence, but now Bob created a branch sometime back. Bob created a branch when the main branch was, the topmost commit was C5. Bob created a branch, and let's call it as dev. Bob created a dev branch to work on some feature that he was developing. So Bob got assigned a feature development, and Bob created a branch called dev. And he created like 2 weeks back when there was only C5 commits. C6 and C7 did not exist at that point of time. Right? So a lot of commits were created by Bob on the dev branch. Right? So D0, D1, D2, D3, a lot of commits were created. But then slowly, while Bob was developing their own branch, Bob saw that there are some very important commits made, like C6 and C7. C7 is a bug fix, which is not available in Bob's dev branch. So whatever commits are made in the main branch or other branches, they're not visible in this branch, right? Because every branch is a mutually exclusive branch. They don't share changes. So dev branch has C0, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, then D0, D1, D2, D3. These are the commits that they can see. They can't see C6 and C7. They can't see B0, B1, B2. So what should dev do? So, sorry, what should Bob do for their dev branch? So what Bob can do is, Bob can rebase the branch, so change the base of their branch. What does that mean? That means instead, so dev branch was created 2 weeks back, and the base is C5, right? This is the base for the dev branch. C5 is the base for the dev branch. So Bob can change the base of the dev branch to maybe C7. Okay, this is called rebasing the branch, because Bob wants these latest commits to be present in the dev branch, right? So Bob wants C6 and C7 to be visible here. So what can be done now? We can rebase it. And what does rebase do? Now this is pretty technical. What rebase does is when you do a git rebase, it is going to remove this branch. It will remember all these commits and it's going to recreate this branch again by reapplying the commits that were made in the dev branch. So it's going to say, all right, these commits are now obsolete. I'm going to create a new branch with the base of C7 and I will apply this commit here. So this is called D0 dash. And then I'm going to apply this commit here, D1 dash. Right? I'm going to apply this commit here, D2 dash, D3 dash. Okay, then this branch becomes obsolete because these commits are not used anymore. And this becomes the new dev branch with the latest changes coming from main and the commits applied here. So Bob can have all the things that is coming from the main branch and their changes as well. So let's see an example of that. I'm going to create a new branch called dev. Okay. So if I say git log, and this time I'm on the main branch, right? So this is the log for the main branch. The latest log is, the latest commit is merge branch bug fix. Okay. All right. I create a new branch, git branch dev, branch is created. And if I do a git checkout dev, so I'm moving to the dev branch and let me create a couple of commits. Here I say this is the fix, dev branch new feature 1. Okay, I'm adding a new feature here in the dev branch in a.java, and then in file2.txt, I add another feature called new feature dev branch. So I add another feature in file2.txt. I'm going to create 2 commits. Now the git add a.java, and I say git commit feature 1. And then I say git add file2.txt, and I git commit feature 2. All right. So I created 2 commits in the dev branch. If I say git log, you see here in my feature branch, there is feature 1 commit and feature 2 commit. If I check out to the main branch, and if I say git log, it does not have any feature 1, feature 2 changes, right? Because those changes are in dev. Okay. So now let's make some changes in the main branch. So we made some changes in the dev branch. Now let's make some new commits in the main branch. So in the main branch, I'm going to open, let's say, file main and new commit in the main branch. And I say git commit main branch new commit 1. Then let's open another file. Main file.txt, let's say, and I say new commit in main branch. Okay, so I made 2 new commits in the main branch as well. So this is my log. In the main branch, I have new main branch, new commit 1, main branch, new commit 2. And if I see the log of all the branches like this, you will see that in the dev branch, there are 2 commits, feature 1, feature 2. And the base of the dev branch is this commit. Right? So this is my dev branch, right? And this entire thing is my main branch. And this is the base of the dev branch, because the dev branch starts from here. Now, after these 2 commits were made, let me change the color a bit. Yeah. So after these 2 commits were made, right? Let's say this is D0, this is D1. After these 2 commits were made, these 2 more commits were made in the main branch, like C6 and C7. So the dev branch is missing out on C6 and C7. So we need to change the base of the dev branch to be this one. Yeah. How do we do that? So let's take a look. Just 1 second. All right, so this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to say git checkout dev. Okay, we should always check out the branch where we are going to make the changes with rebase or with merge. When we merge, the main branch is changed, right? So we checked out the main branch and then said git merge bug fix. But with rebase, main branch is not going to be changed, only the dev branch is going to be changed. So I check out the dev branch, then I'm going to say git rebase. So I'm going to say now git rebase. Let's take a look at the log one last time. You see here, the dev branch commits, or the dev branch has the base as this one, merge branch bug fix. This is the base. Now I'm going to say git rebase main. So rebase my current branch on the main branch, top of the main branch. Press enter. It says successfully rebased. Now, many times you will see conflicts and things like that, but here it was all seamless. Now, if you say git log 1 line graph, what do you see? The feature branch, feature 1 and feature 2 branch are based on here. Right? They can see all these commits. Okay. So sometimes it makes sense to rebase your existing branch if you want to have a clean commit history. And you want to merge your branches to the target branches if you're done with the branch. And if you just want to make sure that your uh, commits are visible in other branches. Okay, so I think this was it from me to talk about branches, and I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. So I'm going to take the questions, but before that, let me show you something. Just give me a second. All right, so I have this. All right, so you see, SkillUpRight team is planning to launch a DevOps training, and they have already defined the curriculum, complete curriculum. The dates are not defined yet, but it's going to be sometime in the month of August. If you are interested, then you can enroll yourself. We are going to cover a lot of topics, right? So this is the entire curriculum. It's around 45 hours of course. I have also helped the SkillUpRight team to design this course. It involves a lot of tools and technologies, right? I'm going to leave the link here in the chat. Just give me a second. All right. So we are going to talk about Linux. We are going to talk about DevOps as an understanding. We are going to talk about Git and GitHub a lot, right? So you can see a lot of things. It's actually 6 hours course. Then we are going to talk a lot about Maven, Jenkins a lot, Terraform, Ansible, Docker a lot, Kubernetes a lot, and finally monitoring with Prometheus. Yeah. And it's very interesting to see that it also has a lot of hands-on exercises. So whenever we do the training, we are also going to include a lot of hands-on sessions. So whoever is training this, if you enroll for it, you are going to enjoy live labs along with the trainer. Trainer is going to give you exercises and help you um, gain more practical understanding of it. Okay, so do check it out and reach out to Simplilearn team if you're interested. You already have the link. You can share it with your friends or colleagues if they are also interested. All right, so that was a small plug that I wanted to make. Back to the topic, and I'm going to now look at the Q&A. Okay, so I'm not going to look at the chat. I'm going to look at the Q&A and I'm going to answer the question. And I'm done with the technical explanation, but I'm going to answer a lot of questions. Okay, does Git pull does the same thing as Rebase? Actually, yes. If you pull changes from the remote branch to the current branch, it actually does the rebase. Yes. What about conflicts? There could be a lot of conflicts. Unfortunately, I did not plan about doing a demonstration on conflicts. It's a separate discussion entirely. So maybe in the next session sometime I can cover that as well. But yes, you can do conflicts. You can get conflicts. You have to resolve them and then do a git merge continue or git rebase continue. So rebase will merge the current branch with the main branch. No. Git rebase is not going to do any merge. It's going to change the base of the branch. Due to maximum participant, I couldn't join earlier. Do we have to share recording after the session? I think you will get a recording of the session. Right? Can you explain how git revert works? So git revert is used to undo a previous commit. So I'm not going to spend much time here, but just giving it a shot. So let's say these are the commits in a branch. and you make a new commit, and your boss says this is a bad commit, so you want to undo it. So what git revert does is, git revert, if you say git revert this commit, then what revert is going to do is it's going to take the contents of the previous commit and reapply on top of your last bad commit, so that these changes become hidden and previous changes become the top of the branch. So this is what revert is. If I delete the main branch code from the production, so there is any way to revert the code again. So first of all, it's, I mean, really be careful with production code. But if you do change the branch, do delete the branch, you can recreate it if you remember the topmost commit. Yeah, but if you don't, then it's extremely difficult. You can by using some plumbing commands, but it's extremely difficult. But possible, yes. When we commit the code and push, before pull the changes on the same branch, then push will reject. Yes, you have to have the updated changes of your branch in your local repository. So what is the right way? The right way is first pull the changes, then commit, then push. But it is never, I mean, it is inevitable, one or the other time you will encounter the problem that you pulled the changes, then you committed, but somebody else pushed the changes, and now you are trying to push. So in that case, you should pull the change again. After making the commit, pull the change again, and then merge whatever is changes coming, and then push it again. It becomes a bit of a, it's a bit annoying to do that, but that's the right way to do. How to change head? When you check out, you change the head. Head points to the current working copy, and if you check out any commit or any branch, that changes the head. How we can handle merge conflicts, 2% changes in the same file? So maybe I should do a different session on merge conflict, or in some session I should cover it. But yeah, when there is a merge conflict, you have to, resolve the conflict manually in the file and then commit it again. How to switch branch from GitHub desktop app? I think you can just choose the branch from the drop downs, like on the web app, you can choose the branch. So from desktop also, you can choose the branch. I have not worked with GitHub desktop app much. Is there any standard naming? No standard naming for branches. Is there any method to revert any committed changes? I just explained revert. After joining the training, can I get the certificate? I think SkillUpRight team should answer this. SkillUpRight team, can you please answer about the certificate? Will the team get any certificate after completing the course, if they take the course?
Yes, they will get.
Yeah, okay, so you will get a completion certificate. What happens if there are conflicts in rebase and main branch? Yeah, of course, you have to resolve the conflicts. How to change head? Why do you want to change head? I mean, manually changing head is never advisable, but head changes automatically when you do git checkout and check out some other branch or some other file. Is cherry picking and merge the same? No, cherry picking is something else. Cherry picking is when instead of merging the whole branch from one place to another, you just want to say, let's say, hey, this is the commit that I want to go in the production, not the entire branch. So just take this commit and put it on the main branch. So this is called cherry pick. If you just move one or copy one commit from one branch to another branch. But this is generally something which we should all avoid for cleaner history. If we delete branch, can we recover it? Yes, but extremely difficult. If we delete commit, can we revoke back? Yes, but extremely difficult. You cannot even delete commit. Yeah, there is no command called git delete commit. Git does not allow you to do that. How to interpret graph of repo using git-k? Git-k, what is that? Git-k. There is a known option. Maybe you mean git-k. Git-k is a GUI application for Git. So that I'm not sure. It's a app specific question. If we would have merged main branch in dev branch, then also we would have got C6 and C7. Yes. So if you, instead of rebasing to C7 for the dev branch, the question is, if C6 and C7 or main branch was merged to the dev branch, you could have gotten the same changes. That is yes, but your commit history will be very, very confusing and unclear. So that is why if you want to update your development branch, always do rebase. But once you are done, do a final merge to the main branch and be done with it. How cherry pick works? Maybe I'll pick it up some other time. Now is not enough time here. What is the difference between pull and rebase? So pull is, your end goal with pull is that you want to get the changes from the remote repository into your local repository. The rebase is within your local repository from one branch to another branch. Any cheat sheets and short note about Git commands? There are a lot of cheat sheets. I mean, they're all over the internet. So GitHub also has cheat sheet. Atlassian, GitLab, these all major players have their cheat sheet. You can see here major commands, right? So there is rebase, reset, there could be merge as well. Yeah, all those commands are here. This is from GitLab. So yeah, just a simple Google search for 3 or 4 links should be okay. Do we have reverse merging features likewise we have in SVN? I'm not sure. If you need to rebase to C6 instead of C7, how should we do it? If you need to rebase, when I said git rebase, I gave the name of the branch. But if you need to rebase to C6, then you can just give the commit ID here. So you can say, so you can say git rebase and the commit ID to which you want to rebase to. Okay, that is also possible. When working on a feature branch, I encountered conflicts while merging it. I resolved the conflicts and completed the merge. However, later I realized that I made a mistake in resolving one of the conflicts. Is there a way to undo it without affecting the rest of the merge? So if you completed the merge and you made a mistake in the merge, you have to create a new commit. There is no other way around it. You cannot edit a commit or edit changes that were made in a commit. You need to create a new commit. So either create it as part of a new branch and then merge it, or directly on the production branch. But yeah, you need to create a new commit. Can you give short description on version control? Maybe in the next session. Now the time is up. Let's see if there is any new question. Why do I see branch master sometimes and main sometimes as default branches? So previously, the master was the preferred name of the branch, but lately, due to historical reasons and slavery and all, master and slave words are being pushed out of the technical world. So instead of master, the Git has started using main as their default branch. That's all. There is no difference in functionality. Can't we revert any random commit? You can revert any commit. Yep, using the git revert command. Fetch and pull are the same. Maybe I can talk about it later in some other time when I talk about the work area. Fetch and pull have a minor difference that they don't, fetch does not update the work area, pull does. Okay, but then I need to explain that better. Will D0 dash be clone of D0 or will there be any changes? So in our case, it was a clone, but if you find any conflicts, then you have to resolve the conflicts and then make a change. So D0 dash may be different from D0. Okay. All right. So then this is all that I have today. I see a lot of questions. And maybe in the next sessions, I can, take those questions. I hope this session was beneficial for you. Please go through this link of the, DevOps practitioner training. And if it interests you, please sign up or at least show your interest. All right. Reach out to your learning partner for the same. So thank you. Thank you for your time. And I wish you the best of the evening and best of the remaining week and the time forthcoming. See you around. Take care. Bye.